I bring the heat that take them out their feet. I bring the heat that take them out their feet. I bring the heat that take them out their feet. Take them out their feet. What up? It's your girl Diamond Dage, and I am back at it again with another video reaction for you guys today. Now, if you're new, welcome. Shine bright like a diamond. Please subscribe to become part of the Diamond Gang. Thank you to all my subscribers and all my fam and my diamonds and my butterflies who already been on my channel conversating with me.
Thank you so very much.
Let's hit this clip real quick and let's get into the video. Yeah.
I was actually once driving my date home, and she said to me, "I don't need a man." I said, "Are you sure?" She said, "Yeah." I said, "So get the out the car and hitchhike."
What?
Turned out, she got kidnapped.
What?
And that's a great example of why women
Wait.
men.
What did you just say? And first of all, I don't even think that story's true. But let's pretend for a second that it is. Because I don't even think he realized that he just proved the point of all the women who he was trying to insult.
Wow.
So let me get this straight. He used the example of that woman depending on him for a ride home as proof that women really need men.
Right.
You weren't that woman's only mode of transportation. And she was probably only in your car because you promised her a safe way home. In fact, she probably has a nicer car than you with a lower car payment sitting in her driveway. And even if she doesn't, she still has friends and family, public transportation, or the subway. So believe me when I tell you that you are not that woman's only chance of getting from point A to point B.
That's crazy
Said that it was a
story.
date, so I'm assuming that it was you who offered to pick her up for dinner and not her who was just begging to get in your car. She probably only let you drive because some of you are so fragile in your masculinity that you actually think it's emasculating to be caught in the passenger seat while a woman is holding the steering wheel. So she didn't need you to give her a ride home. She only depended on you in that instance because you said you would. And I don't know if I'd be bragging about not doing what I said I would if I were you. Because I'm pretty sure they used to say that a man was only as good as his word. And on that note, she wouldn't have even ended up in danger if you weren't so obsessed with proving that all women are beneath you.
Right.
You wouldn't have demanded that she exit the safety of the car and walk into the danger of night if you hadn't felt so rejected by the notion of not being needed.
Yeah, like
And that
fragile
means
ego.
Your inability to regulate your own emotions poses a significant threat to women. And I don't know what point you think you're making because you're the one who kicked her out of the car as the man who was tasked with her safety. And I assume that she then proceeded to be kidnapped by a man who took advantage of an opportunity. So in that case, did you really just use violence against women as your proof for why women need men when the majority of violence against women is perpetrated by men? So listen, I don't know what your point was, but I can promise you that you proved our point much more than you proved your own. And you probably would have realized that if you were more concerned with being right than you were with sounding strong.
I mean, why even fabricate a story like that? Why even, this man literally sit up on this podcast and said, I was driving a woman on a date and she just randomly said she don't need men. And he told her to get out and then she got kidnapped. This story, first and foremost, if this story was real, how would you know that she got kidnapped? If you let her go out into the wild at night, how would you know she got kidnapped? Who told you the information, right? Who would have told you she got kidnapped? But that's just such a stupid way because, first of all, your ego is that fragile that all the women have to say is, I don't need a man. She didn't even say, I don't need you. She didn't say nothing particularly about himself. Just the saying of, I don't need a man, triggered him to be like, get out. What kind of true man is that? That is not a man. That is a fragile boy. Like, that's some stuff that like a high school boy or something would get upset of. Like, you claim to be a man, and he probably calls himself an alpha man. You claim to be an alpha man, but you letting just a statement, a blanketed statement that could be toward anything or anybody, get you mad to the point where you kick a woman out the vehicle, right? And then you supposed to be a man who's supposedly providing, protecting, but just even telling a woman to get out the car, that ain't nothing about providing and protecting. And like she said, if she got so-called kidnapped, she most likely got kidnapped by another man. So she still would be right. She don't need no man, because you just proved to this woman, or to the women on the podcast, that not only do you don't need men because their ego is so fragile that they will put you in dangerous situations, but they also are still going to inflict harm on you by kidnapping you, sexually abusing, raping, etc. So you really did prove the point that women don't need men, because you sat up there and say, it pretty much showcased that if a woman makes you mad or say something you don't like, you can't control yourself, you can't control your emotions, therefore you're gonna do something harmful to her or put her in harm's way, therefore she's gonna be vulnerable to be put in danger or to be threatened by another man. Like, that really didn't make any sense. And I kind of want to find the clip of that podcast just so I can see what the women reacted to, because I was so confused after he said that. Like, what? I've never heard that in my life. But these men trying so hard to convince women that they need them. Why are these dudes making up fabricated stories and doing all of this stuff? Why are they trying to convince women that they are needed if they really are? Something that is valuable don't have to keep preaching that is valuable, right? Men these days, they are preaching hard that they are valuable and women need them. But if women needed y'all would even have to convince women, because women would already know. It's almost like housing and food. Housing and food don't have to convince people that they need it. People flock to it already because it's a necessity. It is something, it's a resource. But men are not a resource. Men are not like a necessity like housing or food. Men are not needed. Men have to be wanted. So this man is trying to convince these women that men are a need and not a want. Men are just a want. Men are not necessary. You don't need a man to live a fulfilled life. You don't need a man for a lot of things. Okay, it's not like water, food, or housing. They want to be on the top list with water, food, and housing. It's just not going to happen. Men, you should be wanted as a man. You should feel like you should want to be wanted. Okay, you should want to be desired, not necessarily needed. Right? When you have to need something, that's not really like a good relationship. When you need something, it's like when you need air, when you gasping for air and you need air, like, that's not the type of feeling or situation that I would think women want as far as needing men. They making it like he making it seem like if you don't have a man, like, you're gonna die, you're gonna just die of just a horrible death or something. Men are not that great. Like, that's why I have to convince women every day on these podcasts that y'all are something to be of value, because y'all not providing nothing for women but depression, anxiety, hurt, abuse. Like, that's what y'all are giving most women. Y'all not giving most women a life of luxury or anything high vibrational. Y'all over here destroying women's lives. But I don't know, y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments below. I'll be back with another video reaction for you guys. Bye.